Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another 1510 game here on chess.com. And we are going to be playing more of a standard game today, Sunday, a beautiful Sunday. And we'll see if Vishwa Jeet123 is going to reply here. A 987. I'm at a 955 at the moment. And looks like he's going to open with the French defense. I think this is the first French defense that we've played. I'm going to go ahead and just get control of this center with this move being the next. Now, they're going to play more of an odd version of this. I haven't seen the B6 move on move 2. I'm going to go ahead and protect right here. I guess you could see the Fianchetto of the bishop come out. Yep, so that's what's going to happen here. Get my other knight into the game. I like starting like this. This is obviously a pretty optimal way to start. Lot of pawn moves early here for Vishwajit 123. So now I'm kind of wondering where to go with my light score bishop, if I should go here. If I do, I know the typical response would be to probably move right here, take. I could take here if I go there. He can take, but I can fall. I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and get that light score bishop out. Have the ability to castle at any time now. And really, this is optimal. I mean, if you get the dark score bishop here, and this is what they say is an optimal position in chess. All right, so they go ahead and lay down a nice little pin on our king. Let's go ahead and block that pin with our dark score bishop. Going to try and advance the a-pawn here. Thinking about making him make a decision because he really can't go back here now. So let's make him decide on what he wants to do. And they're going to take. Does leave this piece open now. It's attacking this as well. Do they leave anything open? Not really. So let's go ahead and get castled here. They are putting pressure on the c2 pawn. Not overly worried about that. Just because I'm protecting it here. I'm looking to bring this rook over to put pressure and make them retreat. They are underdeveloped with their two knights still sitting on the back rank. And all I really have to do to get developed is just move my queen up to connect these rooks. I'm thinking maybe I'll go ahead and do that now. Because if I move here, I'm still protecting this c2 square and I'm attacking this piece. So I feel as though I've got a little bit of an advantage there. I think that's a good thing. I'd like to do that. Okay, so they go ahead and move up with their pawn. Okay. Kind of an interesting move. Let's see here. One thing they're not doing well is they're not attacking this pawn at all. So I feel like I can move. I also have a defender here with my bishop. So I can move this knight to attack. I can move this knight here to put pressure on this pawn. I can't do that because the queen's protecting that square. I can move here, though. I can get this. Basically what I'm saying, though, is I can get my knight out. Maybe I move my knight here. Can't do that because it undefends this square. So we have a little bit of a... This is a little bit of a quandary. Thinking of moving here into the middle to attack this g-pawn. Moving out here, not a possibility. Yeah, maybe that's what we do. Hoping that they decide to go here to push us out. Just continue to force more pawn moves. That's fine with me. But obviously, eyeing that g6 pawn. Could see them move up here. Continue to kind of pawn storm on the king side, which is a problem. Definitely something to keep in mind. They can't take here because it's defended by my king. I guess there's a possibility of this queen moving to the g5 pawn, threatening a mate. Okay, but they go here, which, like I said, is something that I was kind of looking for. So let's go ahead and see if there aren't any better moves. We can move here, but they can just take back, so there would be no reason to do that. We can take here as well, threatening taking their knight on the next move. An interesting possibility, but we can still do that if we take here and they don't decide to push this pawn up, which I think they could do. It does block in this light score bishop, though, if they decide to do that. So let's go ahead and make the obvious move. Let's just take right here. Break up the pawn structure a bit. They do have a strong pawn center. But we've made up for that pawn that they won taking here when they took our... Okay, so they do decide to move to this g4 square. Okay. So they're threatening mate in 1. So we have to protect against that. We can go here and they can take. I'm starting to see that there's not really a lot of options for us here. Going here, we're going to lose this knight. but it might be one of our few moves that we can do realistically. We can move here, but it's the same thing. I mean, they can still come in. Yeah, that would still be a mate in one if they came in here. Yeah, I mean, going here, same deal. Does going here do anything? It doesn't protect. And again, we could go out here to try and protect, but they can just take then. They're still threatening this king area. Trying to see if there are any queen moves that we can do. I'm trying to think here. You know, taking here, they can take with the rook, and they can still just go here. If we go here, it's going to be much of the same, where they're still going to be able to take pretty easily. There's really no possibilities of a check at this point. Yeah, I unfortunately don't see a lot more I can do outside of that. It's not a move I want to make, but I do think it's probably the only move I had in that situation. And so we do go down a piece because of it. Do feel like we can. I don't like moving the F pawn, but it can shoo this kind of annoying piece away. One thing to look at here too, and this could make up for something, is move here, attacking this rook. Now they can defend it fairly easily with this knight, hoping that maybe they don't see that. I don't know. I think that's not a bad plan here. Let's go ahead and do that. And they just block. So now it's just kind of a it does make it a difficult area to get past now. It kind of blocks in my light score bishop. I do think here, though, is a good option to just, because if he takes here, I can take back. He can't go back anywhere. He can take. I can take with my queen. That could win us our piece back or get us down just a pawn. So we win the piece back and lose a pawn in the process. But I like that idea of, you know, this now kind of forces them into that situation. Hope you guys have had a good weekend. I've had a good weekend myself. Still not able to do a whole lot. Quarantine still in effect here in Colorado. So they do go ahead and take that light score bishop. I'm not seeing any reason why we can't just take here. It does threaten this rook as well. They can move here, which is protected by their knight. But this, okay, so now they just push forward even more, knowing that we can't take here. Okay. Okay, that's oof. Yeah, that's tough. What it does do is it allows us to just take this rook, which I'm thinking we will do. But if they take here, we take here, they can just come in here and take. That's a real issue. So maybe we go ahead first and try and protect this piece a little more by bringing our rook back. Our bishop, our dark score bishop, protecting that piece. Okay. And then they go ahead and protect there. So far, a smart game, I think, from both sides. I'm just going to move here, knowing that I have this little slot to go back to. They lift their rook. Now, where are they looking to go with that lift? Now, one thing to look at here would be moving our bishop to attack the rook on that diagonal. I'm assuming they're doing that for a reason, trying to move here. So what other moves can we make to protect this square? And I think that's got to be our main concern over worrying about this. We could lift our rook to move here with the help of our queen. I think that's a possibility. I don't love putting our queen in front of our king. Maybe we go ahead and do that. Because, they've been good at seeing those threats. So let's assume that they're not making a mistake. They know what they're doing in this situation. Let's just assume that. And let's lift this rook to move here. It does block here, yep. But we can go here now. And if they decide to take here, obviously we can take with our king. Yep. So let's take now with the rook, with the bishop. I keep calling the bishop the rook here. I'm noticing I call things the wrong names all the time. I apologize about that. Now, they've lined these two up. I'm not looking to open this up yet. Okay, so they move here, attacking this piece. Pretty easily defended, though. And this is undefended. Is there a way that we can try and attack the queen while doing that? It doesn't really look like it. Yeah, I'm just trying to see, even if we move our rook here, let's say. Yeah, they can just come here. We have to take here. So now I'm going to where are the undefended pieces. One undefended piece is here. So I think that it could be the smart move to get our rook to the semi-open D file. They are attacking this C2 pawn, but they're only attacking it once, and we have two defenders of it. So I'm not worried about that. Actually, three defenders if you consider the rook. So really not worried about that. So let's go ahead and go to this semi-open D file here and see what they do. They're still stuck on this back rank with both of their knights. So even though we're down a pawn in this situation, they've got two completely inactive minor pieces. Now, they do move this rook, or this, everything's a rook now, this knight. So now they've activated this. They're protecting their queen, and it's protected right here. They can also try and move this rook over now, but again, that would move it into where our into the diagonal of our light score bishop. Now we can attack this piece by going here. I think that I don't see a problem with that from the start. So let's go ahead and take here. And I think that could open some things up for us. Could undefend this piece, which is being eyed by both our queen and our knight. Okay, and our bishop, excuse me. Okay, so they attack here. Now, we can put them in check with this rook being defended by the light score bishop. Something to keep in mind. Is there a better move? I don't really see it. Now, something to keep in mind too is putting this dark score bishop on this diagonal here attacks both rooks. I love that. But right now it's defended twice and we're only protecting it with one other piece, and that's our queen. But if we get this over, then we'll be protecting it twice. So that I really like. Now I think we've got some real options here. So it's not all about, and obviously they can take, but they would have to take with their queen and lose their queen in the process. So a lot of, just because somebody's up on you, just because you're down a pawn doesn't mean you're out, especially at this level. Now, if you're a grandmaster, that's different. But this is, when you're playing at this level, never feel like you're completely out. Now, if you drop your queen, things are going to be difficult, but I think that there's real possibilities in this situation. Okay, so they move their king, which is kind of what I was looking for them to do, because I can take here, they can take here, we can take back with our rook, or with our, no, we take with our rook, and then they would have to take with their queen if they want to take. That makes things difficult for them. Is there anything else that we can do? So yeah, and then the other thing is this is a discovered attack here. So we're attacking a lot when we do this. Let's go ahead. This is a double attack now on this rook. They can take back here, but then we can take back with our rook. Yeah. Let's just take with the king. Most likely they'll move here. Okay. So the options are, do we move back here into the corner? I don't love doing that. I know it protects this piece here. Another option would be just to move back here altogether. Maybe that's a good option. Maybe that is a good option. Okay, so we're running low on time. Let's go ahead and just protect our piece. We could see them go here, but we can put them in check, which I like. Yeah, they do that. But let's go ahead. We can just put them in check and attack that rook and take the rook and then not have to worry about that. So now I'm just deciding, is it best to take here now? Let's go ahead and just do what we know to be right away here. And we can now take here. Okay, things are starting to open up for us. They can go here, but that's not a move I'm very worried about. I think that's what they'll probably end up doing. And it does put me in check. We do have to keep in mind that this is undefeated. Our queen, so we might want to keep an eye on that. Another thing to keep an eye on is this knight is pinned. Okay, so they go with the check right away. An interesting move. If we move back here, they take, we take. Yeah, we're still defending. I like that. Let's go ahead and do that. Because yes, they can take. We can take right back, though. And then there's not a whole lot they can do with their queen there. Okay. Let's go ahead and attack this queen. So that pins the knight once again. And then we can move in here attacking with our bishop on the next move, attacking that queen. So I like that. Been a good game. Our first French defense here on the channel. Been fun to defend against. More of a closed opening for black. They take, but again, we can take here and attack this queen. Now, one thing they can do is they can take here and it's check. We can take back pretty easily. And then there's a discovered attack here as well. Let's say they do. Yeah, if they go here or take here, discovered attack, but we can just take that. Okay. So now they're threatening that pawn. Not overly worried about that. Thinking about moving here on my next move. Open up the discovered attack on the king. Okay. Got to make sure they're not able to kind of skewer our queen and our king here. So there's definitely quite a bit of counterplay available to them. But I do like our position right now. And I feel like they don't have a lot of places to go. If I decide to pull out here, I can do a lot if they can't put me in check. Now, they can put me in check in a lot of different ways, but their king is in a lot more dire straits, I feel like, than ours is. So we're looking to get out of check. I'm always, I never really know what to do on this. Do I trade, try and get them to trade queens? I never know if that's the right move. Again, hoping that they take here. I'm guessing they'll just go right here. Yeah. Maybe try and get that draw. If they keep moving back and forth like that. They can just take here. And that does skewer our queen, but we can take back. We're close enough to it that we can just take the queen right back. Not seeing as many options for them now. I feel like they kind of have to take our queen. If they want to keep checking us, because they can't go here, they can't go here, they can't go here. Yeah, I'm just not seeing a ton of options for them otherwise. They have plenty of time, which is nice, but I feel like they could have used their time maybe a little more efficiently. So they do. Go ahead and trade that queen. And they have a 3-on-2 opportunity here, but this allows us to attack that centerpiece. And attack their king. And that puts them in a really bad situation. We're going to go ahead and promote. Forcing them. They can move out. Oh, they didn't, though. putting them in a pretty tough situation. Let's go here, and we're very close to finishing this. And we can go right there for the mate. And so that's going to do it for this one. Oh, boy. We lost our web page here. Let's see if we can bring it back to get the details on this game. And so Vishwajit 123, a very good opponent in chess.com, saying that we made a lot of blunders and had a few missed wins. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Again, my thing lately has been going back and looking at these games on my own and trying to see what I could have done differently. Because a lot of times with these missed wins, it's a line that you could have played that would have given you the win. Now, it's usually not like a mate in two. Sometimes it is, but sometimes too, it's good to just go back, look at your game, see if you can see the mistakes that you made and try and correct them yourself. And I'd like to do that here today with you guys. So go ahead and start with an e4 opening. They go with the French defense, and then kind of a more modern opening, moving this out and fianchettoing their light score bishop. We're able to get a very classical opening here, very strong center hold. We have a strong, we're dominating these squares with our front two pawns and our knights here. So this gives us a lot of control over the center of the board. And I always say that when you're at this level, if you have the ability to control the center of the board early, you're in a much better position than your opponent. Even though they got ahead of us by a pawn early, I don't think that it didn't do a whole lot for them. So I just because I liked our position more. They were highly undeveloped, and we had control over the center. So then they go ahead and make another pawn move. They move out here to pin. Now, something to keep in mind when they activate this bishop, it's probably a good idea to move that a pawn early to try and prevent that pin from coming. So maybe a mistake there or an inaccuracy there on my part, not getting that a pawn out in front of that pinning maneuver. But it's not like we were blocked in. We were able to unpin very quickly. They did, but then we brought this out, and then they just went here. And because this diagonal was taken by their bishop, and our only defender here was this knight, they just took, and they were able to take an extra pawn because of it. So then we castle, which I think is a good decision. Right there, we're able to, use that little cubby hole that we made for our light score bishop. They push another kind of outer tier pawn. So these pawns are really the most important pawns, these 4 pawns here in the middle, and they've hardly moved them. I don't love that. I think that they wasted moves moving these pawns instead of those 4 middle pawns. So these outer pawns are not quite as important, and I think that kind of became the case. So they're able to defend that piece right here, defending that light score bishop. And although we are attacking this, what I didn't see was their ability to come in here and threaten that mate in 1 and then take this piece because it was basically just undefended. So it was a good move on their part. We should not have done that. There was really no reason for it. Yeah. So that was probably a premature move. They're able to make a really good tactical move. And then I like this because this forced them here, and we were able to get that piece back pretty easily. So they did get a pawn out of it, but we were able to get more of that pawn. Then they're attacking here. They've got a great pawn structure attacking our G pawn, but we defend here. They then attack here because we were attacking that rook. Move back. They lift this. Now, one thing we were thinking about doing was moving that bishop here. I did not think that was a very good move because I could tell they were just going to move here and try and attack this pawn again. So I decided, hey, let's lift our rook, do the same thing. Then we just moved over here. That may have been a mistake. Maybe we were supposed to take here, but I don't know. I wasn't in a huge hurry to do that. And right there, we were able to defend that piece pretty well. And I feel like this is kind of where the wheels started falling off for black. So they ignite this knight. We're able to take here. They attack there. And this then allowed us to put their king in check. Also allowed us to take here. They take here. As we're up a pawn, we take with our king. They go ahead and move. And this is where things got a little sticky, I felt like. But we were able to then attack a little bit more. We move here to attack that queen. They take there. So we take their pawn. And then this just became a check storm in which they really weren't able to do much except get our queen, but we defended our queen. So when you're down 4, that can be a very difficult maneuver, and they were far behind facing 2 pawns versus nothing, and we just decided to attack here, put them in check a couple of times, and then we just promote, and then they were in a lot of trouble from there, and not a whole lot they could do. And that was it. That was the game. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. I'm Keaton, and make sure you subscribe, like, comment below, and check us out on Twitter, KMonier Chess. That's KMONIER Chess on Twitter. Our Reddit, it's all in the description below, so check that out. Hope you guys are doing well, and trying to start this Chess Crusaders thing too, so make sure you if you find us on Twitter, go ahead and use the hashtag Chess Crusaders. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow for some Blitz chess. Enjoy The Last Dance tonight. Yeah, I forgot about that. The Last Dance on ESPN. Michael Jordan's Bulls. Even if you're an international, I think you know Michael Jordan and the Bulls. So it's a pretty awesome documentary that ESPN's doing during this time of no sport. So check that out. It's awesome. All right, guys, have a good one, and I will talk to you later.